Last HJR was passed with 82 votes third read. I knew that this was probably going to be tight, and sure enough it was, with a few votes short on that. The veterans tax increase that you saw this afternoon is another, something that I support. Not a big tax, not a big proponent. I've always fought taxes, always been against taxes, but when you've got your veterans sitting there waiting and need to be taken care of, and 1,000 of them can't get any services, I think it's time we give the voters at least a chance to decide whether they want to support funding to help those folks out or not. So that was probably a couple of the highlights of the week.
Speaker, on the vote on the court plan, what does that say about the future of trying to change it within the legislature?
Well, I think you can look at it a couple ways. You can say that there's not enough momentum to do it, or you can say, I know that any issue we've dealt with, whether it was tort reform or workers' comp, it seemed like it always took 2 or 3 years to generate the coalition and the compromises necessary to get a bill passed. So, that's the first time we've ever had a vote on the floor since I've been around. It was 76 at the high point, 69 when the board closed. So I think there's a good shot of getting, making the arguments. There's probably some compromises and changes that need to be made, but it's an issue that's out there. And for the folks that are so supportive of the Non-Partisan Court Plan and don't want to see any changes to it and feel like it's wonderful and it's great, I don't think they should be worried about a little debate on it, talking about that. If it's that good and it's going to stand up to the scrutiny and the criticisms or the suggestions for improvements, shouldn't be a problem debating it and talking about it.
Were you surprised at the vote?
No, like I said, I expected it to be pretty tight because I knew that we'd only had 80 on the perfection vote, and I knew that we had barely passed that HJR 41, I guess was it 2 weeks ago, and that would have been really close. So I was expecting it to be a tight vote, and I was worried that we were going to lose it.
Did you expect that many Republicans to cross over? We counted up here about 20 that voted against it. Did that surprise you?
Well, I didn't know that. I knew there was going to be some. I didn't. I do my whip counts.
Okay, the classes that just came in, I want to tell you what the rules are.
Does Brad have to do this ever? I'm going to move out in the hall. We tried this last year.